Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and I want to introduce you guys to one of my new favorite games that I've been playing. This is not like a shill. I've actually been playing this and loving it. It's called Seven Knights 2, and it's a recently released game from Netmarble. I've been trying a whole bunch of different games. I recently tried Ragnarok from Netmarble. Didn't think it was good enough to do a video on. But Seven Knights 2 is absolutely incredible, and I've been loving it a lot. I formed a guild. I spent a whole $8, which, you know, big spender here. But I've just been enjoying it. It's beautiful. Tons of gameplay. I kind of want to show off the game a bit. Talk about why I love it so much, what kind of the mechanics are. Let's go ahead and dig in. Now, number one question most of you probably have is, who is this beautiful damsel on the screen? And this is actually in-game graphics, and this is Shane. And a lot of you might be like, well, if it's in-game graphics, is it from your emulator? Is it like an enhanced, kind of like some of the other game tricks that we have? This is actually a PC client. So the first thing I would say about Seven Knights 2 that I've really loved is there's actually a PC client for the game. It is in beta. You do have to do some shenanigans. So you do have to start on your phone, register your account, and then switch to the PC beta. And there are some options you don't have, like purchasing on the PC beta. But overall, the PC beta runs incredible. It runs better than an emulator, and it's been an amazing experience so far. It's the first mobile game that I've ever played with a PC port or a PC client, and it's just been an amazing, like, everything about it is wonderful. I've just been having so much fun, and it's been nice to play a game that doesn't crash consistently. I started playing First Soldier, constant crashing issues. I started playing Ragnarok Online. The pathing was weird, the graphics were a little weird, but this is kind of just that right balance of beautiful graphics, not crashing, works, out of the box, which is incredible. And it actually has a pretty good storyline as well. So what are you doing most of the game? What are you up to? Well, it is a kind of like a hero equipment pet gacha, but really you only kind of pull on the heroes, and you have a lot to do with them. You kind of run a 4-man team. You can see here that I set my team, I set my pet. I have different formations. This is probably one of the cooler aspects, is you have all of these different formations for your characters to run, and it almost feels very similar to Final Fantasy 12, and that's one of the reasons I'm really enjoying it. There is no gambit system, but you do have your 4 heroes. You gear them, you set their abilities, and instead of having a gambit system, you kind of have a whole roster of heroes. So this is very similar to War of the Visions and a lot of other games where you want to level your entire roster. Everybody is useful, and it's one of those situations where there may be a map or a battle where you need a green rarity character who is going to do better than the blue rarity or the red rarity because of the passives that they have. There may be a battle where you want to be a little bit more defensive. And, when you have these different formations, what you find out is, if I want to be more defensive, my stats are going to change, right? My formation is going to give different stats. I can level up the different formations. If I wanted to kind of be a swift formation for all of my units, I absolutely could, and that would give attack speed and movement speed up, right? There's just all of these different formations, all these little aspects that make this game really intricate and enjoyable. And on the surface, it looks beautiful. And when you engage in this game, or you hear about this game, you're almost like, oh my God, it's Raid Shadow Legends. It's not. It's nothing like that. It's absolutely incredible. It's been like I've been playing this off stream. I played a little bit on stream if you want to see some gameplay. We'll show you some gameplay as well here in a minute. But it's been absolutely great. And one of the best things about it is it's also free to play accessible. There are a lot of legendary units that you are going to be able to get for free, especially playing the game right now. There's lots of free summons. It's just overall great. Like I said, you guys are used to hearing me spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a game, for one character. And, I spent $8 here because I had a pop-up that was like, oh, here's a special deal for new players. And I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this. I'll spend $8. And, it just worked out. In terms of kind of what else is going on here, you have A lot happening. You're probably looking at this and you're like, oh my God, that's a lot going on. And you're absolutely right. That is a lot going on. You do have a friend list, so you do have up to 50 friends. You can see, if you guys are familiar with Mateo from the WoTV community, Sector 7 is also playing. You also have a guild system, so you can see we are running the Mole Colony right now. If you do want to join the Mole Colony Guild, if you guys do want to play this game, feel free to join, and you do have to apply. But as you can see, you have different guild members. We only have 5 now. You have guild achievements, you have guild info, you have a guild shop, right? So you pull up the shop. And, you know, by having a guild and being in a guild, you can purchase daily buffs that last 24 hours for attack 5%, you know, defense 5%. And this is only the beginning, because this game has been out in Korea for, I believe, almost a year now. They're just celebrating their 1-year anniversary. They are kind of going to be implementing guild battles in the near future, and all of these things are kind of going to be coming in the future. So there's a lot coming, and this game is kind of only in its infant stages, and I'm loving it. I would say overall it is a very PvP heavy game. There is definitely PvE that you can do, but most of the time, once you kind of clear to the end, from my kind of just my gut and my understanding, is you're probably going to be playing mostly for arena and clearing out your dailies until either special dungeons or special achievements come out. But that's okay. This is one of those games where you run through, you play the story on easy mode, and there's 3 more difficulties afterwards that you have to clear and that you'll get gems for, and that you have, you know, time to level up your characters. So you're going to be doing a lot of stuff. Now, of course, this is also an equipment collection game and a hero collection game. So you can see I have a whole bunch of heroes down here, and it actually shows all of the locked heroes as well. So you can see we got all of those as well, and all of the ones that I own. We have multiple different equipment slots. The equipment has paired equipment gear, so there are different sets of equipment that you want to match together, and different rarities. You can ascend them, you can transcend them, you can make your character stronger in a different kind of ways. And then every character kind of plays differently. So you have tank classes, you have ranged classes, you have melee classes, you have like universal classes, which do a little bit of everything, and then you have support classes, which will focus on like healing or ultimate regeneration, things like that. You are going to find that the equipment can be a little bit overwhelming because there is a lot of it, and let me just show you. So these are all of my characters, and as we talked about here, I know some of you are like, holy shit right now. As we talked about, all the characters are viable, and you are kind of collecting equipment. The thing to keep in mind here is, you know, they have, like, this is a lot of equipment and it's understandingly overwhelming, but they have features in the game that make managing this equipment really easy. For example, my main tank here is Rudy, right? And let's say that I have good gear on him. You can see I have 2 legendaries, but let's say I need to, for some reason, switch to Valdur over here, right? And I want to switch all the gear over. I actually have an option to swap all of the gear over in a single click. So I can just send all of the gear to him and swap their gears. They're going to be good. There's also preset loadouts for PvP, for, you know, pretty much anything that you're going to be doing. So while it seems like it may be an overwhelming amount of gear, it's very well managed. There's lots of tools to manage the gear, and I think that's probably the most important part. And I think, you know, if you focus on like 4 characters first and then 8 characters and then kind of build from there, you're going to be finding yourself in a good spot. There are account power-ups as well. So they do have a codex system, which gives you stats based off the amount of equipment you've collected. So there is absolutely a reason to collect and kind of grow your little equipment hoard, right? Very similarly for heroes as well. If you collect heroes and level them up, you'll see that you get different stats. So I have HP 20 here, defense 4, I have attack 4. From one of the characters that I use, like Rudy, a lot, he's higher level, so he's going to get defense plus 27 right now. That applies to all of my characters. So there's incentive also to level all of your characters, which you'll be doing anyway, to kind of create and define, you know, your account's power level. So your account's power level is also important here. There is also a fully funded crafting system, which I'm not fully into because it's more of an end game system, but my understanding is you will be using it. There's a pet system, of course. What's unfortunate about the pet system is, I managed to pull this pet called Rachel, and she's pretty much the best pet in the game, is my understanding. And there's never any reason I would need any other pet, is what I've found out. So I'm not sure if the pet system gets enhanced in the future. I'm not sure if maybe there'll be something new going on. But in terms of the pet system, it's very cosmetic, it feels like. They do give a really powerful party buff, but you don't really you don't enhance your pets, you don't grow your pets, and you get a lot of free pet summon tickets, and you get a lot of free pets in the game. So you just kind of set the one that you need and you use it there. And then you have, kind of all of the meat and potatoes of the game. So you have Celestial Tower, which is very similar to War of the Visions Tower, where you can go once daily, you can ascend the different floors. You have Raid, so you have a daily dungeon, which you can do. You have 8-player Raid. You have, where you take 8 of your units in. You have 4-player Raid, which you unlock. I'm like literally on the quest right now that unlocks these two, which is right at the end of the storyline. So I'm pretty excited for that. You also have your daily farms, right? So you have experience. You have 4 different difficulties usually on each level. So you will be kind of pushing through. You get achievements every time you clear it. Arena also has normal and competitive mode. Competitive mode, you will be choosing the team that you go up against. Normal, you'll just kind of be going. What's really great about this is they really reward you for doing PvP. So when you do PvP, it's going to be unavoidable. You will have to do it, but it's all automated. As you climb the ranks, you get belts. So at the end of the week, depending on the rank you are, you get a belt equipped to all of your characters, which will give you all of these stats. You also get gems for summoning and arena tokens. So I am Crystal 5 right now. I'm going to try and get to Challenger 1 because that's a blue piece of gear here. You can see the difference being stats. So it's 100, 350 versus 200 and 700. So it's going to be a huge jump if I can get to Challenger for stats for the week for all of my characters. Other than that, gosh, I mean, y'all, this is nonstop. There's so much to talk about. We do have field exploration. So all of these story missions that you run through, you do have an option to kind of go back and do them either on easy difficulty, or if you're at that point in the game, you can go to hard difficulty. And I'm going to go ahead and I will show you this field exploration real quick here. And we will kind of give you a taste of what the combat is like. You do get maps, so you consume the maps to do this. And this is going to be how you're farming like a lot of equipment, how you farm EXP. And this will give you guys a taste of the combat system and what that looks like. You can see that I have auto on, and there's a couple different things happening here. You'll see I have this flag right here. So this lets me, if I move one character, it moves all of them. I turn that off, and then it moves one. So very similar to Final Fantasy XIV, you will actually be dodging AoEs. I have my pet ability right here. So if I wanted to engage in combat, I can choose when to use my pet ability to heal my units. I do have auto abilities turned on currently, but a lot of times what you find yourself doing is actually turning ultimates off and planning your ultimate usage. So a lot of times if you're manualing content, what you're going to be trying to do is timing the right abilities, when to use them, when to kind of, land the proper attack so that you can continue to do what you need to do in the mission. And a lot of the times, we're on easy difficult now. A lot of the times there's things like burn damage, right? Where burn damage will, deal damage over time, but you have a character that can reduce burn damage. So when you get to the higher difficulties, I'm not there yet, but I'm close. I've heard that you have to have these heroes that give the burn resistance so that you can actually kill the monsters and not die. So you're going to, again, need that widespread team, the right formation, and it reminds me so much of kind of Final Fantasy XII, again, where you are prepping your team, it's the right units in the right place, it's the right gear in the right slots, it's just constantly going, planning, changing, adjusting, and you're kind of almost programming the AI to do the right thing. And if the AI can't do the right thing, you can manually control your units, which you will have to do in boss battles. When you do boss battles, you will have to manually control your units to get them out of AoEs. One of the great things about this game too is while we're doing this, I can literally go and pull up any other menu. I can go, okay, let's go to missions, let's grab our daily missions. You'll see the combat is still going in the background. I could maybe choose to level some of my skills if I wanted to. Every character has 5 skills. I can look at all of these systems and I can kind of tinker around with them. In terms of systems that you also have, you have the mastery system, which is account mastery and bound to your account level. So you will kind of get to choose different buffs, right? So you can see here that I've chosen decrease the target's attack by 5%, or I could decrease the target's defense by 5%. So in combat, I'm going to decrease the target's attack by 5%. I got to level 20, so I can now equip necklaces. My next goal is to get to level 30 so that I can equip rings. At account level 25, I can increase DPS, ranged, or all allies attack by 3% or versus 5%. So I'll have to think about that here. There's just a lot to look at. You have a stat called potential. So every character has a potential stat, which you can invest in and level up to give them more stats. You have divinity, which is very similar to a buffing kind of system for all units. So you can see all of my units, because of what I have invested in divinity, have crit rate plus 21, attack plus 59, block rate plus 21, block efficiency plus 5. So I have this that I'm investing in constantly. And then finally, I do have, I think that's actually it. So there's a lot happening in this game, and because there's a lot going on, I do love it. Now, there are some drawbacks. One of the drawbacks is you do only have 50 inventory spaces. So you do have to manage your inventory quite a bit. You can purchase inventory, but again, that's purchasing inventory. The other thing is there are aesthetics. A lot of the purchasables you can buy are aesthetic only, but there are a lot of monetization bundles, and they will not let you forget that this game is monetized. So you do have, for example, like different packs that are offered to you, and you'll get different packs by clearing different things. So because I cleared Gold Vault difficulty 3, they're like, hey, do you want to buy this pack? For $2.99, right? And sometimes these are the best packs, which are crazy. But I mean, it's also like they're giving you something you need. It's tough. It's tough to like just know to step back and wait. You also have a lot of things that are also, it's very free to play friendly, but it's also pay to win friendly as well. So you do have 3 different battle passes that you can purchase, which again, all they really do is give you rubies. As far as I can tell, all they really do is give you rubies, and pretty much all of the purchases just give you rubies, is kind of how it feels like. And I'll even show you here. You can pull this up. You can see these are all of the different daily things that are going on. And after about here, it all becomes purchased packs. So these are all daily logins, and you can see they are all gems. They're pretty much all gems, whether it's daily hero packs, gems, daily rubies, daily select hero. Like, it's pretty much just all going to give you pulls. So while it looks like it's monetized very heavily in a ton of different directions, most of it is directed directly towards pulls. So I would say if that is something that worries about you, just know that this game is very free to play friendly. Giant's playing it and loving it right now. And a lot of people are really enjoying this. If you do want to play this, please join the Mole Colony. Please join my guild. I am trying to recruit people. And if you want more of this content, I'm probably going to do a couple more videos on it. I don't know if it's going to be long-term or not. I never make those types of decisions. But I can tell you right now, I'm enjoying this game a lot, and I'm having a lot of fun, which means I will probably be playing this on stream, be playing some other games as well. We have some poll videos for you, so you'll probably be seeing me do this at least for a little bit. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.